And talking of people who are working on records, on the phone, Brian Molko from Placebo. Hello.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Long time no speak.
I know, too long.
And so, what's I imagine, because although it feels like a long time since you've been away, you were probably touring that last record for a while, were you, around the world?
Yeah, we normally tour for about 2 years in total,
yeah,
which is kind of insane, but that's kind of the way it's been for about the past 3 records.
So when did you finally get some time off after finishing the Meds campaign then?
It was September of last year.
Is that all?
Yeah,
Crikey.
yeah.
And
we took about 6 months off, and in the summertime we relocated to Toronto, where we started recording the new record.
And why Toronto? Was that because there was someone there you wanted to work with?
Well, yeah, luckily enough, we managed to secure a Grammy Award-winning producer who happened to be from Toronto. His name is David Bottrell, who's quite well known for his work with Tool and also with Muse and Deus.
Yeah.
These are all records that we really liked.
Yeah.
So, and he said, "You guys fancy, coming over the pond and trying it out here?"
Yeah.
And we went, "Why not?" Because we'd never really recorded outside of Europe before, so we thought we'd take the plunge.
And how much material had you accrued by that point? Had you been writing on the road, or did you
we'd been writing a lot on the road. Steph and I had sort of been writing in our own little corners to sort of alleviate boredom. Because about 12 months into the tour, the sort of, the boredom kind of starts. It gets a little bit repetitive, so you have to keep your brain alive, keep the creative juices flowing. And so when we reconvened, we found we had a lot of material, so that wasn't really a problem at all. And I think as well, because we were so far away from home, we just were really, really focused. So it was a very, very good recording experience for us. And Toronto's a fantastic city. It's a very tolerant, very open-minded place. So we had a good time.
And so, do you find? Do you surprise each other when you finally sit down, you and Steph, and go, "I've got this," and well, I've got this, in the different directions which you're writing in, or things that you're achieving?
Well, yeah, and I think that's what keeps the spirit alive within us, is that ability to surprise each other, to kind of pull something out of the hat, which is unexpected, and it's that little bit of magic, that keeps us sort of in a band together, really, that ability to throw a curveball, and we try our best to not repeat ourselves. It's a very difficult thing for a band to do, and we're always trying to kind of raise an eyebrow.
And so, if fans listening, thinking, well, if they're working with the guy who's worked with Tool and Muse and people like that, is this a heavier record, or at least a heavy-ish sounding record?
Well, I think in places it's probably a bit heavier, but not. I think what we were conscious of was that the last album, Meds, was really, really quite dark, and we wanted to do something that was a little bit brighter, that was a little bit more colorful, that was a little bit more, not psychedelic in terms of, inspired from music of the 60s, but just something that was a little bit more mind-bending. So we really sort of allowed ourselves to be free on this. And there are moments which are heavier than we've been before, but there are also moments where we've been, where we're more tender than we have been. And we've also worked with strings on this record, and dare I say it, there might be a little bit of brass as well.
You couldn't help yourself, could you? You just couldn't help yourself.
No, of course. As soon as you start working with strings, which we did on the last record, you go, "What's next?" And obviously there's trumpets and saxes, but they're not all over the record.
And were you tempted to work with other people? You had because there were guest appearances on the last record from people like Michael Stipe and Alison from The Kills.
Yeah, there were. I mean, I guess because of that, we didn't want to do it this time round.
That's what you're saying. Don't repeat yourself.
Being sort of isolated in our studio up in Canada, sort of it being cut off from friends and family and everything like that, and being so far away from home facilitated that process. It was very, very much, just focus in on yourself and get this done.
And is it easier? I mean, because Meds was recorded quite quickly, wasn't it? It was only a couple of months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But so is it? Do you feel once you get in there, you're a bit more relaxed, you know what you're going to do, and you have a dead set idea of what you kind of vaguely want it to sound?
Exactly. You know, I mean, sort of. I think for us, the days of sort of spending 9 months in a studio are kind of over. You know, we kind of we don't want to really sort of go over and over and over and over the same stuff for that amount of time. So we like to make the decisions early. And we were just talking about that this afternoon. Kind of make decisions are your friends, you know, if you make the right ones, I guess. But giving yourself too many options at the 11th hour causes a great deal of fear, I find, you know. So if you make the decisions early, then you're off to the races.
And you've been doing one or two other things, haven't you? I mean, you're always involved in, you know, music outside of the band and going to perform and things. But where have you been? You were somewhere, didn't you do some strange Serge Gainsbourg thing?
Yes, that was a few weeks ago. I went to Paris and participated in a Serge Gainsbourg tribute concert, which was fantastic for me because I was able to perform for the first time with an orchestra, which has always been a dream of mine. And it was a really wonderful experience. Singing in French as well is always fun. It's good because it's kind of out of my comfort zone, you know?
Come on.
And we're just preparing right now for a gig in Cambodia, of all places.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Which is, this is going to happen at the beginning of December 7th. We've been asked by MTV Exit, which is a charity to raise awareness about human trafficking for prostitution, indentured servitude, and people who, you know, are basically trafficked to work in factories. Right. To raise awareness for this. And so this is why I'm in the rehearsal room right now. We're trying to get a set together. We are lucky enough to be performing in front of the temple called Angkor Wat, which is a 12th century Buddhist temple, which is kind of in ruins. So this is it's the first time a rock band are playing there.
So, I suppose it's a strange thing, but you would think after about 5 albums there probably wasn't anything left to do, but I imagine you're the sort of person who enjoys the fact that there are still new things which you haven't achieved yet as a band. Oh,
absolutely. And in terms of Angkor Wat, you know, I went there about 3-4 years ago as a tourist, you know, and now to be able, it never even crossed my mind that you could do it at a concert there. And the fact that now, you know, you say to people, no, you know, in 2 weeks I'm going to Cambodia. You know, it's like it's really quite surreal. And I love that about this job. It's the most wonderful thing about what we do is that these crazy these surprises happen all the time. You couldn't plan it, you know. So
you can barely call it a job.
No, that was the wrong terminology. Sorry. This dream, this blessing, should I say? I
am pulling your leg. What about the record then? When do you think you'll have it finally finished? Because you're mixing it at the moment, are you?
Yeah, we're mixing it with Alan Moulder at the moment, which I'm very excited about because you know he's worked a lot with Trent Reznor on Nine Inch Nails' album.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing for us, and you know we're putting the finishing touches on it, so it should be done, you know, definitely before Christmas, and you will hear something from us in the spring, and we're getting ready to take the record on tour for festivals.
Brilliant. Well, listen, when it's done and dusted, bring us round a copy. Drop by.
Can I come in and see you?
You can. Yeah, of course you can. That'd be brilliant. Be absolutely fantastic. And it's been a pleasure catching up with you. Good luck. Well, we wish you well on your big trip out to Cambodia. And if we don't see you before, have a happy Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you in 2009.
You too. You too. Take care.
Thank you very much, Brian.
All right. Thank you.